What's up, YouTube? This is Shuttle Boy, and I'm back with yet another video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about something crazy that happened when I woke up this morning. I see this, and I was like, you know what? We got to talk about this because this does connect to a lot of things. Obviously, a lot of you people that are into golf flying, you're also into Supreme, and I'm very interested in Supreme myself. I bought stuff from Supreme myself in the past, so interesting on that front. Another thing is, if you watch, and if you haven't already, I really suggest you watch this video because then it'll connect to this more. If you watch the video I made on Reebok getting sold, or they're looking for a buyer right now, Adidas is looking for a buyer for Reebok. This connects to it because they just got bought by the brand I thought that Reebok was gonna get bought by, and that is what just happened here. Supreme sold themselves to VF Corporation, which is the owner of Vans and North Face, Timberland, etc., for over $2.1 billion, which is crazy to think Supreme's gotten to this point. But yeah, I just want to get into this, guys. So I'm not going to read the article. You guys can read it yourself. Maybe I'll put it in the description as well if you want to read it. But this is from Highest Nobiety. This is all legit stuff. But they were sold to VF Corp, which, if you didn't know, they're a company that owns a bunch of brands. So they own North Face, Vans, Timberland, they own Dickies, they own a bunch of smaller brands too, which will be very interesting to see if these like really smaller brands that typically it would have nothing to do with Supreme if they get a collab. Because they got stuff like, I think Ultra Running is in there too. But they were sold to them, and they have all those brands. Which all, I mean, let's face it. My thoughts first off on this is we see what brands they have. I mean, VF Corp is like one of the closest brands to Supreme in the first place. I mean, they have done stuff with Vans all the time from the beginning. They've done a lot of stuff with North Face in their history. They've done quite a bit with Timberland the past couple of years as well. Dickies is very related to skate brands. I think they might have did something with Dickies at one point, but I can't remember. So it just makes a lot of sense, which is really nice to see Supreme is owned by a brand that is in the same industry, the skate industry. So it's nice because also we're not going to be seeing Supreme turning more into what they were doing before, turning into the Louis Vuitton of skate clothing. Now we're going to see them kind of dwindle down, for lack of a better term, and relate themselves more with the skate world, which is really nice to see rather than that designer world. But 50% of them was sold back in the day, so I think that's the same amount they're going to be selling to them. So I mean, they sort of own, I guess they own the majority. I'm not 100% sure on that. James Jebbia is still the founder and still, I think, running the whole thing. But I think VF now owns majority in this instance. But something that I found interesting in this article, two different things, is one thing is, well, they do say that this is further validation of their vision, strategy to evolve our portfolio of brands. That's what VF Corporation is saying, which is very true. And then they're saying that this will give Supreme opportunities to leverage its global supply chain, international platforms, digital capabilities, and consumer understanding. And another thing they say that is very important to note also is that this doesn't limit them to only collaborating with those companies that VF owns. It'll just make it easier to work with them, but it says that they are still completely willing to have them work with random brands out there, even crazy stuff like with Crest toothpaste. I'm curious to see how this works in form of, are they still going to do stuff with Nike and stuff? Because they state here they'll still let them do unorthodox partnerships like Crest and Braun and Coleman. It doesn't say anything about other clothing companies though. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I gotta say, guys, all in all, my thoughts on this is a good thing, I think, for the most part. But another thing that makes this interesting is this part right here, when they said opportunities to leverage its global supply chain, international platforms, etc. What I get out of that is they're gonna try and make it so there's more stores out there and more web stores out there for different countries, and then maybe they're gonna expand within the U.S. as well, as far as having more than just the L.A. and the New York store. Having a couple more stores in different areas, I think is something we could see. That's something I think is the most likely from this. But then the other thing is, because I mean, just think of the business model of Vans. I mean, we could see that. I mean, if shit hits the fan or something, we're having issues with Supreme. I think this is also kind of saying that if things aren't going our way, like this whole hype thing is just dying out completely, we can turn you more into a Vans company. So I think that's a nice fallback plan idea that they have, and I think that's just really nice to have that security if you're Supreme. But another thing that I think is interesting is, I mean, obviously these companies that I said here, they have a lot of experience making a lot of different products that Supreme never really makes unless they collaborate with them. So could we see in the future Supreme making their own shoe or something? I don't think that'll happen in particular. Maybe in some time in the future, but I think that's kind of contradicting what Supreme is about. They're supposed to be about collaboration. So having your own shoe would make it kind of hard for that. But maybe that's something in the future. I think this is going to help, though, with different kinds of pieces being made as well, though. But all in all, guys, this is pretty crazy stuff. I'm curious to see how this affects Reebok as well, though, because they were supposedly going to be one of the companies that was going to buy Reebok. VF Corp was. And I bet this means that they're out of the running for it, because I doubt they want to spend another $1 billion. So that means that Chinese brand Anta is really the only one that's on the table right now trying to get them. I'd really love to see Nike do it, but Nike seems like they're very unhappy with just profits in general right now during this time, even though they have the most money of everyone, but they still don't feel too comfortable with that. And that means that they're probably not looking to spend money right now. So, dang, are they really going to get bought by Anta? Or I could see this also going where Adidas just kind of has to hold on to them for a little bit longer. That's what I think is most likely, but we'll have to see. Dang, it's just not looking very good for Reebok, which is a shame. But that's going to conclude the video, guys. Let me know down below what you think of all this crazy stuff. And please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, guys. And please subscribe if you haven't already for more golfing, more sneakers, more clothing, more Shuttle Boy. And this is Shuttle Boy, guys. And I'm out, guys. Peace.